A power drill is the wrong tool to slice fruit, just like an antibiotic is the wrong tool to treat viruses, including colds and flu. Antibiotics are only needed for certain bacterial infections. When they aren't needed, antibiotics won't help you, and the side effects could still hurt you. Ask your healthcare professional when an antibiotic is the right tool and when it's not. Visit cdc.gov/antibiotic-use.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor because that's a really important job. I would hope kids get better and make everything super fun. I'd have a cool waiting room with games, toys, and a huge TV.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a serious defect of the immune system. Early testing gives children a chance to dream.
And I'll give every kid a cherry lollipop because that's the best flavor.
Jeffrey Modell Foundation, helping children reach for their dreams. Visit info4pi.org.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Over-the-counter pain medications can be bought without a prescription and are intended to reduce fever and temporarily relieve minor aches and pains. There are two main types of over-the-counter pain medicines, acetaminophen and NSAIDs. Although both types of pain medications treat the same symptoms, they work in different ways and have different risks and benefits. That's why it's important to always read and follow the drug facts label on your medicine. If you have any questions, ask your healthcare professional or pharmacist.
Hello? No, I haven't checked my email yet. Yeah, we need to get on that right away. Hey, I'm about to back out of my driveway. I'll be at the office in 20 minutes. Let's talk then. You're good at what you do. Get there safely. Focus. Drive. Stay alive. A public service announcement of the Arkansas Trucking Association.
What if being in recovery from a mental or substance use disorder was something we proudly showed the world? You might be surprised. Millions of people are in recovery, sharing hope, help, and support with family, friends, and community. Join the Voices for Recovery. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Good Tuesday morning, boys and girls. Rain is likely this afternoon. We'll have increasing clouds and temperatures near 52. Tonight, 50-50 shot at more rain. It'll be mostly cloudy with an overnight low near 37. For Wednesday, partly sunny and 59. Wednesday night, partly cloudy and 36. Thursday, sunny and 69. Friday, more rain in the forecast. Temperature near 64. Out of the Radio Works Weather Center, I'm JJ.
Go status.
T-minus 30 seconds.
The morning mayhem.
TPA script running. Second stage LHU securing started.
Ready for launch?
Ready to embark on a national security mission for the United States of America.
Newstalk 92.
Range green.
Igniters armed. Rofi ignition.
KBEU.
5, 4, 3. And liftoff.
The morning mayhem is on.
Now in the port booster as expected.
The morning mayhem is for entertainment purposes only.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
And let's jam here on. It helps if you hit that right button. Let's jam here on this Tuesday morning, everybody. Yes, sir. As we get a little bit closer to a Friday, and it means this Friday is the Daffodil Festival Lite here in Camden. And as that happens, of course, well, winter could return just in time for the Daffodil Festival. And the National Weather Service does confirm tornadoes in 3 Arkansas counties did touch down during those Sunday storms. And Clark County is proud to announce that they got the new Hostess factory in Arkadelphia. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. And of course, Superintendent Judy Hubble, Dr. Judy Hubble, superintendent over at Fordyce, releases a statement about the incident from last week. All that and more. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Good morning, everybody, here on a Tuesday morning. It's cold outside. It's it's going back to the way it used to be. Temperature dropped down to 30s overnight, and that front came through, I guess, from that storm that came through on Sunday, because it's been kind of chilly yesterday, too, but not too chilly, because, I mean, you know, we started the morning out at 57, which wasn't bad. But here we are starting out at 34, high of 49 today, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad to where, you know, we're in around the freezing point, and then during the day, you know, we're encroaching on 80 something, and you know, everybody's noses and heads are messed up again because of the difference in temperature and stuff and things. So in the news, in the local news, I was talking about the letter that Dr. Judy Hubble released over on the Fordyce School District Facebook page. It's up there. You can go read it in full. And I noticed that this came out March 4th, which was just 4 days ago, or she released it on March 4th. And here's what it says, though. It says, "Dear students, faculty, staff, and patrons of the Fordyce School District." She says in her letter, "Our school district and our community have been rocked by videos that recently emerged on social media. Many feel anger towards the Fordyce School District. I understand." She continues saying, "Our greatest responsibility is ensuring a safe learning environment for every one of our students. We will continue working diligently to provide a safe environment for our students and staff, and we understand the importance of mending the district and community relationships that have been hurt. FSD investigates all student discipline issues, including conduct like that shown in the videos. Those investigations are subject to federal and state laws and ethics regulations that require us to afford a confidentiality to students who are subject to discipline, and that means that FSD employees and board members are prohibited from discussing the specifics of any student disciplinary issue with any person other than the student's parent or guardian." Then it continues on with what I am able to provide to our community is an explanation of laws and district policies regarding students' discipline. Our policies set forth timelines and procedures that must be followed when imposing student discipline. The law requires that due process be afforded to any student recommended for out-of-school suspension or expulsion in a timely manner. Due process is normally accompanied by holding a student hearing and then giving the student advance notice of the date and time of the hearing will take place. All students' hearings may be held in a closed hearing at the request of the student in order to comply with the district's policy and state law. Sometimes it is necessary to make an initial recommendation and schedule a student hearing, even as the district continues to investigate, and then modify the recommendations based on additional information gathered later in the investigation. So basically, everybody's been wanting to know, what is a modified expulsion? What does it mean? And we really didn't get clarification on that at the time of the hearing when we were there. And we had some speculation of what it could mean. So now we actually have some answers. So the letter continues on saying, additionally, changes made to Arkansas law in 2019 require school districts to make efforts to continue student engagement and access to education during periods of suspension or expulsion. So basically that just means a modified expulsion means that student A, the guy who started the fight and everything, is expelled from school, which we all know what expelled means. But in this case, the student still continues to engage and have access to education during the period of expulsion. And you can find that in Arkansas Code 6-18-502C6, Section C, Section 6, and where it says offer to the expelled public school student digital learning courses or other alternative educational courses for which the student may receive academic credit. So instead of hurting the child by making the child repeat that grade, where, the kid's just not allowed on campus, but could continue their education and advance a grade. So that way they don't have to make up for it. So I guess, sure. Hang on here a second. Yeah, okay. Back in my day, expulsion was bad, very bad, because you usually got grounded the entire time you were expelled. And not only that, though, you had to repeat the grade. You didn't get to continue on, and then it's just, you know what? You sit over here and think about what you did, and you'll go ahead and move on to the next grade. Don't worry, honey. Everything's going to be okay. Anyhow, that's that part right there, to receive academic credit. Arkansas Code 6-16-1406, Section G. All Fordyce school district students subject to expulsion are entitled to the protection of these laws and are provided with these services so that their expulsion does not prevent them from finishing their education. Basically, they don't get held back. Due to the laws and regulations regarding confidentiality of student disciplinary issues, I can tell you, this is Dr. Hubble still speaking, I can tell you that our school board met in a special session for a student hearing yesterday. Following a closed hearing as requested by the student, the board voted to accept my modified recommendation of expulsion, and some have interpreted the inclusion of the word modified to mean that the student received an insufficient punishment or something less than an expulsion defined by the district policies and Arkansas law. Again, I cannot violate the district's obligation of confidentiality. However, I can assure you that I have made my recommendation and the board accepted my recommendation in compliance with Arkansas law, district policies, and Fordyce High School Handbook. This is what we call covering our bases. Well, it's not anything bad. I mean, anybody in a position of power would do that, to clarify. This is, I made this decision. I see y'all are not happy with this decision. So here's how I came to this decision. And these are the tools that I used to make that decision. And therefore, here is my decision. That's all we're doing. We're just covering bases because that's what you do. So that way everybody knows, oh, okay. So it's not just, there's a person in question that we're mad at. Just didn't, arbitrarily decide to change the game up a little bit. Anyhow, if anyone would like more information on how the district handles student discipline, I invite you to view the board's policies for students which address disciplines in sections 4.17, 4.18 and 4.20, 4.21, 4.22, 4.30, 4.31, and the Fordyce High School Handbook, which addresses student conduct and consequences at pages 15 through 30. So you got some homework. Both of these documents are available on the district's website, which they are. You can go to www.fordyceschools.org/170915-2 or _2. That's for the handbook, and 2021 through 2022 board policies can be found at www.fordyceschools.org/389415_4. So if that's just too confusing for you, especially if you're driving, that's all right. Just get up on Facebook, go to the Fordyce School District Facebook page, and you'll see that, and those links will be there for you. So that way you can go up there and follow those links if you want to do some homework there and catch up. All right, so the thing is, though, is that we have the modified expulsion, which I need to take a break here. So actually, we will pick up on this here on the other side, because I know some of y'all out there, because I heard y'all. I heard y'all saying that it's not the same. It's not the same. And even though we're being told that these are the rules and these are what we follow and this is how we do it, I heard some of y'all out there. So hang on, let me take this break. We'll be right back. News Talk 92 KBEU.
Whatever you want to be, it helps to be well. An active, healthy lifestyle is key. We offer tips and support to quit smoking and address health conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. It's never too late to make decisions to help you be healthier and to be the best version of you can be. Call 833-283-WELL. Be you, be well. This ad brought to you by your master tobacco settlement dollars at work.
Difficult times challenge our mental and physical health. Take time to exercise. Focus on your emotional needs and your loved ones. If you need help, visit MethodistFamily.org. For over 120 years, MFH has been your community resource for a complete continuum of care. This message is sponsored by Methodist Family Health and aired in cooperation with this station and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Well, right here, boys and girls, it's Tuesday, and woo, I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and see what we're going to feed you guys today. Starting things off in Hampton for breakfast, looks like it's a Crispito or a glazed honey bun. You'll get fruit and then milk or juice. Lunch in Hampton includes a ham and cheese sandwich with a pickle, chips, carrot sticks with ranch. Woo, you get a cookie and some juice. Out in Bearden, looks like breakfast is going to be bum. That's right, a super donut. You'll get a cheese stick, fruit, and juice. Lunch is a loaded tater soup with grilled cheese sandwich. Well, that sounds good. Fresh carrots and a ranch dip and fruit. Out in Harmony Grove, looking like breakfast's gonna be an AM sausage roll, fresh fruit. You get a hamburger, baked beans, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, chilled peaches, fresh fruit, and if you don't want that, eat a potato. Camden Fairview pre-K breakfast gonna be a breakfast pizza, fruit assortment, and cold milk. K through 5 breakfast pizza, fruit assortment, orange juice, apple juice, and milk. And you middle and high schoolers, you know it. You got a choice. Your choice is Pop-Tarts, cereal, glazed cake donut, breakfast pizza, fruit assortment, orange juice, apple juice, and milk. Milk. There we go. I ran out of breath. All right. For K through 5 on the lunch menu, it's spaghetti with tomato sauce. You get the garlic toast, whole kernel of corn, pineapple tidbits, and cold milk. K through 5 spaghetti with tomato sauce, garlic Texas toast, whole kernel corn, garden salad, fruit assortment, pineapple tidbits, cold milk. And for you middle and high schoolers, it's meat lovers pizza or spaghetti with tomato sauce, garlic Texas toast, whole kernel corn, garden salad, fruit assortment, pineapple tidbits, and cold milk. Well, we're feeding you, and that's what you really need to know. With your menu, I'm JJ.
News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Getting close to bottom of the 6th there. 34 degrees outside right now. It's a little chilly out there. Got the Daffodil Festival coming up this weekend. But we'll also see some wintry weather as well. Why does that not surprise me? It's just something about the Daffodil Festival. I don't know. It's weird. Anyhow, just before the break, we were talking about the letter that was released from Superintendent Dr. Judy Hubble over at Fordyce, and was going on about, you know, how she was explaining how she made her decision and how she came to her decision, and that she used the rules and everything that she has at her disposal to be able to do this. And let's see, 3 people are mad. They don't like that decision. They said 5 are oh, that's beautiful. They gave a little heart emoji. 40 gave thumbs up, said right on, man. Yeah, that's how you do it. And then one was like a shock and awe, and then one was a caring, and then the other one was very sad. So a total of 51 reactions to that, but no comments were made to that. I don't think, well, they may not have their comments turned on, because I don't see where you can make a comment. I don't think. Yeah, okay, so they got comments turned off on that. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because everything, well, because I see the other posts that they have where you can make a comment, but comments are turned off on that one there. Because they posted one 16 hours ago, which would have been about 1:41 yesterday. And that one there's about junior high baseball game is canceled due to field conditions, and you can comment on that. Then you look at the one that was posted about policy and everything, and you can share it. Oh, okay. It says it right there. Fordyce School District limited who can comment on this post. And do I like? Yes, I am a liker. I like it. Yeah, I liked it. I liked the page and stuff, but no, it still won't let me comment. So yeah, they have the comments there turned off, I guess, which is a nice way of just saying they limited who can comment on this post. Because they also did the same thing with the notification to the parents about the FBI investigating the fake bombing, and then the same one about the AMI because of the fake bombing. And then also shut off the comments for the agenda for the school board meeting that was coming up, and then moved that. And everything else, man, comments are turned on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So anyhow, after talking with some of you people who were there the day of the meeting, a lot of you just felt that just justice was not done. Modified, because, well, at the time we didn't understand exactly what modified expulsion meant. We speculated what we thought it meant, and it was pretty much what we thought it meant, is that the kids expelled can't come on campus, no extracurricular activities, but can still continue their education remotely, is basically what it comes down to. And then, of course, we have that explanation right there in the letter. A lot of people feel that, there is some injustices, there's some inconsistencies when it comes to disciplining children, that certain children, based on their status of who they may be related to, got different kind of treatment when it came to punishment versus those who may not have a high status or a connection with somebody higher up on the food chain, if you will, and got a different kind of punishment. So a lot of the complaints that I was hearing is that there's just a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to discipline. What was that one? No, that one's not there. Oh, okay, yeah, it is right there. Hang on. I think this was one of them.
Tonight, I heard what she said, a modified expulsion. What does that mean? I pulled the handbook, I dissected everything in that handbook, and even the rumors about we couldn't even come, they were sending out rumors saying we couldn't come to the board meeting because it was going to be closed, and I said that's not true, because the handbook doesn't say that. So we've kind of spread that word around, but here's the deal. Even when the superintendent got on the news and said they were not aware of that video, they were aware because they had called people and asked them not to show the video. Don't let the video get out. It's going to look bad on the school. And it got out, and they were not anticipating that video to get out. They didn't want it to get out. They don't want to deal with the truth. And the things that I've seen when I was here, it's just injustice for, some students get a harsher sentence than others, and then others, it's a black and white issue. And if the whites get it, they get a simple issue. There's incidents back to when one of the faculty's sons had a gun. They covered it up. He did not get sent home. So it goes back. Some kids they expel, and then they still let them do ALE lessons, which is not supposed to be. So it's just the sentences that are being passed down. It's not fair to all the students. It's just not fair. And this incident with the bullying has gone on before, and it's kind of covered up. And they were going to cover this up, but that video told the story.
Now, that was Reverend Wanda Andrews who made that statement there, and that was pretty much a lot of the same thing that I was hearing is there was just an injustice done here, and it's not the same, and it's different between certain students and things like that, and depending on who's related to who and who knows who, and treatment and discipline are not equal, so a lot of people were not satisfied with the outcome of that night. So that's why Dr. Judy Hubble, I guess, made that statement, letting everybody know that, everything that was done, the decisions that were done were based on Arkansas Code 6-18-502, Section C, Section 6, which is to offer to the expelled public school student digital learning courses and other alternative educational courses for which the student may receive academic credit, and also referring back to Arkansas Code 6-16-1406, Section G. All Florida students students subject to expulsion are entitled to the protection of these laws and provide with these services so that their expulsion does not prevent them from finishing their education. And then she listed some other ones up there. Like I said, it's up there on their Facebook page. So if you want to go up there and follow the links and read through it and stuff there, that could be your assignment. But that is what she is using to explain her decision and how we came up to modified expulsion. So, yeah, it's new to me. I just thought, if you got expelled, guess what, Punky? You got expelled. You done. Till next year. All right, we are at the bottom of the sixth. Got to take this break. Be right back. News Talk 92, KBEU.
It's time to check the Radio Works South Arkansas Community Bulletin Board.
The Pleasant Grove Cemetery Association will hold its annual meeting Saturday, March 12th at 1 p.m. at the Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. Those who have family members buried there are asked to attend. The church is located at 1065 North Calhoun Road 95. Annual meeting Saturday, March 12th at 1 p.m. at the Pleasant Grove Baptist Church.
Woo-wee! Mark your calendars for April 8th and 9th. Then get ready for the greatest show in South Arkansas, the Calco Rodeo. H&H Rodeo Company is bringing the orneriest bucking broncs and bulls you've ever seen to Hampton. Calf roping, saddle bronc riding, steer wrestling, team roping, barrel racing, and bull riding. They're all on their way to Hampton, April 8th and 9th for this year's Calco Rodeo. Yeehaw!
Batter up! Baseball and softball and t-ball sign-ups are now in progress for the Ouachita County Recreational Center. Sign-ups will be taken until April 1st at Arkansas Pulpwood at 1575 California Street. The draft for all ages will commence on April 2nd. Sign up Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Children cannot be younger than 4 or older than 14 or 15 on May 1st to play. There is also a sign-up fee, so call 231-6405 for more information or to schedule practices. So head on down to Arkansas Pulpwood and get signed up today, or call 231-6405 for more information.
Difficult times challenge our mental and physical health. Take time to exercise. Focus on your emotional needs and your loved ones. If you need help, visit MethodistFamily.org. For over 120 years, MFH has been your community resource for a complete continuum of care. This message is sponsored by Methodist Family Health and aired in cooperation with this station and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
From ABC Sports, this is Rich Cantu. James Harden making friends in Philadelphia, dishing out 14 assists in the 76ers' 121-106 decision over the slumping Bulls.
Now Harden would beat down the lanes. Oh, baby, right down Broad Street. Joel Embiid throws it down. Harden with the dish.
On WPEN, 43 points for Embiid, who's never lost to the Bulls. Greg Popovich now tied with Don Nelson for the most wins by a coach in NBA history. The Spurs rallied to beat the Lakers 117-110 last night, giving Popovich his 1,335th career victory. He'll try to pass Nelson Wednesday night when the Spurs host the Raptors. Baseball negotiations continue, with negotiators for owners telling locked-out players they'll cancel a second week of games if a deal is not reached by tonight. The owners also say today is the last chance to get a deal that will allow for a full 162-game season. This is ABC Sports.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with the Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
South Arkansas weather. Good Tuesday morning, boys and girls. Rain is likely this afternoon. We'll have increasing clouds and temperatures near 52. Tonight, 50-50 shot at more rain. It'll be mostly cloudy with an overnight low near 37. For Wednesday, partly sunny and 59. Wednesday night, partly cloudy and 36. Thursday, sunny and 69. Friday, more rain in the forecast. Temperature near 64. Out of the Radio Works Weather Center, I'm JJ.
News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas, the more funner side. of KBEU. It's more gooder. Yes, now with 10% more gooder. I know some English teacher out there is cringing right now, hearing that. I used to do that on purpose in school, just to irritate the English teacher. It's more gooder. Anyhow, just before the break, we were talking about the incident over at Fort Ice, the press release, and how we came to the conclusion and the exciting decision of what we were going to do with the student that was student A that caused problems and things like that that we saw on the video. And I think it's kind of interesting that because I thought about this during the meeting too, because everybody's like, hush hush, we need to protect the identity of the children and everything. It's like, we know names, we know who the kids are, we've seen their faces, we know their parents, we know where they live, we know who they are. There's not much left for discretion when it comes to dealing with this. It's like, and then everybody's like, acting like they want to go into private session to protect, and it's like, yeah, there ain't nothing left to protect, man. I mean, we've seen too much. I mean, you can't unsee it. We just want closure is what we want. We want to know how this goes down, and we basically want to see, the meat made, for how the sausage is made before it gets put on the plate. We're not satisfied with the fact that we got sausage on our plate. We want satisfaction in knowing how it got there, and we didn't get to see that. All we got left was, some meetings were done, and then we were out in the hallway, I think, for about an hour and a half or so. Maybe an hour and 40 minutes before we were called back in. And then it came down, here's the vote, here's what it is, and this is what we've decided, and this is how it's going to go down. In fact, I think I still got that right. Yeah, I do.
Before we vote, I would like to remind everyone that due to federal law, student discipline issues are confidential.
So how they got to the issue or to the discipline and everything, I guess, is what's protected under federal, state, and local law and school policy and things like that. Even though we're not trying to do a very good job of protecting the identity of the children that were involved, because we've already seen it.
Details regarding such discipline may...
In the details regarding such discipline. So I guess it just has to do with the details in deciding how that discipline is going to be carried out, not the details of how the discipline or what disciplines should be chosen based on the actions that led us up to this point, because, well, we saw that in the video.
Only be disclosed if the parent had requested an open hearing.
We didn't have an open hearing.
I will entertain a motion regarding the superintendent's modified recommendation.
I make a motion that the school board for the Fort Ice School District sustains the superintendent's modified recommendation to expel student A.
I second the motion.
So we got an expulsion.
Motion has been made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay. There was just one nay. That was me. Anyhow, so that's what it came down to. And like I said, a lot of people walked out of there just with a bad taste in their mouth because they felt that justice just wasn't served. And then, of course, I think Dr. Judy Hubble kind of read the room and picked that up and therefore made that statement. But I think overall, though, a good, I don't want to say leader, but a good person, or no, not a good. What I'm trying to find here? Someone in a position of power or leadership. Protocol would be the right protocol would be to explain actions. Would be even if it's just kind of you think it's assumed understood. You still want to explain that action of why you did what you did. Whether you're a politician, elected official, or any kind of position that puts you over somebody else, community, students, or anything like that. Sometimes you've got to explain it. So I mean, that's why you've got that letter out there, explaining that this is how I came to what I did. These are the tools that I used to get there, and this is how I drew my conclusion, and this is how I made my decision. So this is how the decision came to be, and there. And then, of course, you've got parents out there that just did not accept that. Or is what we call covering your bases. just to make sure cover bases and stuff. So anyhow, there's that. All right, so Daffodil Festival is this weekend. Yay! Daffodil Festival. We thought we were going to lose it because of COVID and stuff. We lost it for the past 2 years, and this year we kind of get one. Well, I thought we were done. Actually, I thought we were done with Daffodil Festival. We lost the dog show a few years back. And that was kind of what led up to everything. It's kind of like what gave me that feeling like, man, the season is on, man. We are in a new year. The season's on, and all the festivals and parties and everything are starting to pick up. And the first one was always a dog show out there in East Camden in the old GD building. That's usually what kicked off the year. And then after that was the Daffodil Festival. Then we had Hogskin Holidays. And then after that, I think somewhere in there, I can't remember which order, but then we'd have Oil Town, and then we'd have Cotton Belt, and there was another one in there somewhere that I can't remember off the top of my head. And and then we got the Blossom Festival. I mean, everything just leads up through the summer up into the end of the summer, up into September, and then we kind of wrap things up, and then we all go dormant and we go into winter phase. And when now that we don't have the dog show, then it was like, great, now we don't have Daffodil Festival. And then it was rumor, let me make that clear, it's perfectly rumored, that Daffodil Festival was done. Like, they just weren't going to do it anymore. Like, they were just, we don't want to do it. And I was in shock and awe, because I can't believe it. And I was like, is this true? And I was told that, it's not an official statement, so don't say anything about it. But you know what? That's it. It's rumored. See? It's a rumor. Where's my rumor thing at? Or where is it? Yeah, see? It was a rumor. Hang on, let me do that one. There we go. Yeah, see? It was a rumor. That's what it was. And we couldn't confirm or deny it, but for a while there, it was starting to believe that it could be true because nobody was pitching ideas of having a Daffodil Festival. Well, finally, somebody came out and said, hey, we're doing a Daffodil Festival Lite for 2022. So, whew, okay, all right, so hopefully that rumor is not true. So, better to have something scaled back than just completely canceled for another year. Because that would make 2020... 2021, and then 2022 would be canceled. That'd make 3 Daffodil Festivals that would have been canceled. So anyhow, they are bringing us back. It'll be this weekend, the 11th and 12th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for all your activities and things like that. Some of the activities out there, no, I haven't heard much about the vendors. I'm not sure what they're doing about the vendors. I would probably contact somebody over there and ask them about the vendors because I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with vendors, if they've got a sign-up sheet for vendors or anything like that. I don't know. So anyhow, some of the activities that are included here, you got the Daffodil Stroll at Grace Hill. You can bring a blanket, have lunch, stroll through the acres of flowers. There'll be a food truck on site, and you could do that. And, there'll supposedly be some bread pudding as well, be served on the back lawn. Ooh, bread pudding. I just go for the pudding. Saturday children activities will include face painting. There'll be daffodil banquets for sale. That's $5 for adults, $3 for students. And weather permitting, people may tour the daffodils at the historic Oakland Cemetery Walk, featuring appearances by old favorites and new friends. And the walk is $5 for adults, $3 for students. Costume actors will also be there at the historic McCollum Chichester House. People may tour the house, their museum grounds and stuff like that. I know you thought I was going to say Chichester, didn't you? Fooled you. So anyhow, that's what it is for the scaled back version there of the Daffodil Festival. Now, typically with the Daffodil Festival, and this is so typical too, it has been from my experience since 2016, the weather never seems to cooperate, and neither do the daffodils. But typically we hold the Daffodil Festival around the same time every year, and yet the weather and the daffodils just can't seem to get it together. Sometimes they'll pop out, sometimes they'll bloom too soon, and then we'll have the Daffodil Festival and they're all gone. Or we'll have the Daffodil Festival and they haven't bloomed yet. They're so, you little cheeky punks. You little pukes. Get with the program here. Now, the other thing is the weather. Now, I say that because now they're saying that we could be seeing some activity this weekend. Ugh. But you know what? It's never dampened the Daffodil Festival. I will give you that. Daffodil Festival will happen. And, I mean, unless a tornado drops out of the sky right there, downtown, right there at Adams and Washington, I mean, or Van Buren, I mean, yeah, people might go under a few awnings to kind of hide out for a little bit and wait for the storm pass, and then come out like they did that one year. That was interesting. But other than that, though, I mean, unless, the finger of God just happens to rip through downtown, I think that would be the only thing that would scare people off. Well, it looks like we could see some strong late-season Arctic cold fronts passing through. Now, what's funny is I was listening to WBAP this morning, and I listen to them. I used to work with those guys, and, I like listening to them and cutting up and stuff. Brad Barton over there, who's a meteorologist, he was talking about how winter Arctic air is going to be passing through Dallas-Fort Worth. And as soon as I hear that, pretty much anything that passes through Dallas-Fort Worth, give it time, it'll come up here too. And he was talking about how it's going to be passing through, and then through the weekend. Actually, Thursday's coming in earlier in the week, which would put it here about the weekend. And that kind of got my heads up, because I'm like, because, I mean, if they're talking about getting stuff like Wednesday, Thursday, well, then what does that mean for us into the weekend? And sure enough, I looked it up, and So, Dallas-Fort Worth could be bringing this stuff to us. Thank you. You can have it back anytime. You don't have to. We appreciate the gift, but you can keep it or, send it back. Anyhow, this weekend, this will be after Monday's cold front that brought round of severe weather and stuff through Arkansas on Sunday. Before the temperatures dropped on Monday. In between the two fronts, temperatures will likely rebound into the 60s Wednesdays and Thursday. You follow me? Okay. All right. So with Friday's Arctic cold front temperatures, that'll plummet and likely cause a changeover from rain to snow. Not here, but just around central Arkansas. We'll probably end up seeing all the snow and stuff. However, what that will do for us is probably just bring us some cold, wet rain, is what that'll probably end up doing there. So, in central Arkansas, they could see that switch over from rain to snow, brief sleet transition. In most winter storms, in Arkansas, it's difficult to predict snowfall totals. Late season ones are even harder. So that being said, forecast models, both European and GFS, make a convincing argument for transition to very wet snow during the day Friday, which will continue into Friday night. But that's all going to be more central Arkansas. And out of that, we're going to be on the edge anyway, so we're probably just going to see some wet rain from that. Cold, wet rain. So, let's see. So, South Arkansas, here's what it says. By 5 p.m. Friday, the European predicts rain will have transitioned into snow in central Arkansas. Like I said, we're on the edge of that, so now they're saying as well as sleet moving into South Arkansas in the eastern delta. So we could possibly see something out of that overnight. So it's saying that, let's see, it'll make the Mississippi River cross over southeast Arkansas. Not going to show projected snowfall totals just yet, but we'll let you know as soon as it does. So, you'll know as soon as it does, because you'll be seeing the snow and stuff. But anyhow, could possibly see some sleet. Rain to snow in central Arkansas. On the edge of that, we will be, and we could see some sleet out of that. Sure enough, if you hadn't planned, because see, where we would have done the Daffodil Festival, see, that's where all that stuff should have shown up, the last weekend or whatever in February or first weekend of March, however we used to do that, right? So that's when all this stuff would show up, but because we were like, we're not going to do a Daffodil Festival. Then the stuff decided, well, you know what? We ain't gonna bother snow on you. And now we picked a day and said, hey, this is the day, further into the month, that we're gonna do a Daffodil Festival. And the weather says, hey, I'm coming for you. You may have thought you pushed it further into March, where the season is warmer, but have I got plans for you, baby? Yeah. Don't let it discourage you, though. Go anyways. They went through a lot of trouble to put this together, and it's not like the first Daffodil Festival you've ever gone to where you had to truck through the snow. It's not the first Daffodil Festival you ever went through where it was cold outside, and it's definitely not the first Daffodil Festival you ever went to where it was raining outside. You know how to prepare for it, you know how to do it, and go. They went through a lot of trouble to put this light version together, so as long as weather is permitting and doesn't get as crazy as, like I said, a tornado just dropping out of the sky right there at Washington and Adams, I'd go anyways. We're planning on going. We'll be there. So hope to see y'all out there. So, yeah, it just doesn't surprise me. No matter where you put the Daffodil Festival, it proves my point. No matter where you put the Daffodil Festival, the weather will do its thing, and the daffodils will either not show up or they'll show up late. Or they're just not ready. Ugh, you can't time these things. I'm just saying. All right, I got to take a break. I'll be right back.
That dinner was delicious. What's next?
I'm thinking just the check.
Do you frequently have gas, bloating, diarrhea, stomach pain, or loose oily stools after eating? One or more of these symptoms could be a sign of exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, and it may be time to talk to your doctor.
If you have EPI, Creon may be right for you. Creon, pancrelipase, is an oral prescription medication that treats EPI. Creon replaces enzymes you may be missing to help you break down food properly.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosis colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Do not chew capsules or contents as this may cause mouth irritation. Tell your doctor if you have unusual or severe stomach pain, bloating, trouble passing stool, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, worsening of painful swollen joints, or allergic reactions. Other side effects may include changes in blood sugars, gas, dizziness, or sore throat and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Talk to your doctor about Creon, the #1 prescribed EPI treatment, and visit gocreon.com. That's GOCREON.com. Or call 1-800-633-9110.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
News Talk 92, KBEU, the news, the talk of South Arkansas. Gotta steal my kisses from you. Could you just giving them away to everybody else? Speaking of having to steal things, how come we ain't stealing business from other counties? That's what I want to know. What are we doing around here? I see Northwest or Northeast Arkansas, they got a steel mill. How cool is that? And then I noticed down in Arkadelphia over there in Clark County, guess what they're getting? They're getting a Hostess plant. Now, I don't mean like a plant where they make hostesses, to do your parties and stuff. No, I'm talking about like the pastries and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Because Jack Thomas, Senior Project Manager at the Arkansas Economic Development Commission, says that they began talks back on November 4th of 2021 with Hostess. Hostess, ding-dongs, Twinkies, snowballs, all that stuff. Yeah. Saying on November 4th, we made initial call to Hostess. Like, I guess they just was like, hey, let's get somebody to come down here and do some stuff. So I guess they just called somebody and go, hey, you want to come to Arkansas? So Thomas said, here we are 4 months later, celebrating an announcement of over $120 million investment. So over the 4 months, the snack maker had 4 states they were weighing their move on. Thomas says a half-cent economic development sales tax is one of the reasons why Hostess chose Arkadelphia over others. Sales tax, half-cent economic development sales tax. One of the reasons why Hostess chose Arkadelphia. Are anybody feeling a little gypped here? Just kind of a little bit, maybe? I don't know. It's like, how come Northeast Arkansas gets a sawmill or sawmill, steel mill. You know, we could use a sawmill, I mean, whatever. And then, Arkadelphia is picking up a Hostess. I mean, we kind of dodged the bullet on that Chinese paper place. Remember them? They came through here and they were like, I guess they didn't like us or something. And then they went to Arkadelphia, and Arkadelphia was like, yay, we got a paper mill. And then that Chinese company went defunct or something. And it's like, whoa, we dodged a bullet. Yeah. Anyhow, the Economic Development Corporation of Clark County prepared a $2 million incentive package for Hostess's new operations in November. Says time and time again that the company shared with us how impressed they were with our support and our responsiveness and doing what it took to win this deal, Thomas said, which included local support for the economic development tax that really pushed us over the edge and made this a no-brainer for the company. What are we doing around here in Camden? I mean, I realize we keep talking about jobs and stuff, but how come we weren't on their heels of Hostess? Just saying. It's first I heard of it. Anyhow, if we're not willing as a community to invest in ourselves, this sounds like advice here. How can we expect anybody to invest in us? That does sound like advice right there. If we're not willing as a community to invest in ourselves, that's why El Dorado thanks us for our business. Because we're willing to invest in El Dorado more than we are in ourselves. That's what Clark County Judge Troy Tucker said. If we're not willing to, as a community, to invest in ourselves, how can we expect anybody to invest in us? But we have proved that we can do that by passing this tax. We can't pass a tax. We're maxed out, man. Working together, and great things are going to happen. I firmly believe that. You know, we had that study. Those people come down and did a little study there on Camden, and the study was quite impressive. I don't know where I put my copy of it, but overall is that our infrastructure and everything that we have here in Camden was actually advanced for what who we are, and the size that we are, and very inviting for big companies to come in. And to set up their shops and do things, because we got all kinds of good stuff, and even our water system is more advanced for the size of our city, which is pretty impressive. Which means that we would be capable of being able to handle having a large business come in and be able to support that demand that they need to be able to feed their stuff and things. The company estimates the new production and packaging manufacturing plant will add 170 jobs over the next 3 years. The plant will be located at the Clark County Industrial Park in Arkadelphia. The building was a former Dan Foss location that closed in 2020. We got a place that closed, and got railroad tracks too, right next to the river. Roads. The snack maker plans to renovate the building to cut company costs and environmental impacts. The building is right off of Highway 67, which gives Hostess 330,000 square feet for a new plant. You know, they got train tracks over there, too, off of that Highway 67. The plant is expected to be fully operational in the second half of 2023. So, congratulations, guys, over there. Yeah, I mean, give it to them, man. They busted their butt. They got it. And now they got it down there in Arkadelphia. If we're not willing as a community to invest in ourselves, how can we expect anybody to invest in us? And that's according to Clark County Judge Troy Tucker. He said that. That might be some words to live by there, and it sounds like very good advice. I'm just saying. Camden keeps saying they want stuff like that, but I see Jonesboro out there in northeast Arkansas. They got that steel mill, and Arkadelphia is going to be making Hostesses. All right, top of the hour news up next.
Your name here.
News Talk 92 KBEU Bearden. News Talk for South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU.
ABC News, I'm Em Nguyen. In an exclusive interview with ABC World News anchor David Muir, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says through a translator he'll continue pleading for a no-fly zone over his country because the most important thing right now is security in the sky.
They're bombing us, they are shelling us, they are bombing us, they're sending missiles, helicopters, jet fighters.
Here's ABC's chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raditz.
Zelensky urgently wants fighter jets because the Russians are now massed into heavily fortified areas outside of some of these cities and shelling them rather than sending large numbers of troops inside the cities. And if the Ukrainians had more warplanes, they could bomb these fortified areas to try to stop the indiscriminate shelling, which the official said is how the Russians intend to destroy Ukraine.
This is ABC News.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So we're going to tap into human emotion, first with some music. Then in a serious tone, I'll say, save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. And even though it was about saving money with Progressive, we'll fade out the music so you know it was poignant. Wow, powerful stuff. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
And now a message from Puffs Tissues. It's that time of year when spring's in full swing and explosions of life make allergies really zing. Each sniffle and swipe can be a moment of dread as ordinary tissues make noses angry and red. So keep Puffs by your side to soften all your blows. With Air Puffed Magic, they'll cushion your nose. Especially during allergy season, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
From the Radio Works newsroom, I'm Doc Bryce. The Strong Waterworks in Union County is still under a boil order for the area of H Street west down Rural Road until further notice. A burn ban went into effect just after 4 p.m. on Friday, March 4th for Ouachita County until further notice. This year, the Camden Daffodil Festival will be scaled back but not canceled. Although the Daffodil Festival Board and volunteers are excited to make this announcement, they're still urging you to voluntarily practice COVID-19 protocols. The Camden Daffodil Festival Lite 2022 will be this weekend, March 11th and 12th, with activities from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. To the Camden Fairview Intermediate School 5th grade parents, if your child is interested in participating in band next year, mark your calendars to attend this mandatory band parents meeting on March 10th. From the Union County Sheriff's Office, High Banks area evacuation is complete. New Star is lifting the evacuation for all residents. A restoration of the creek and pipeline have been completed. They appreciate your support and guidance from the emergency response and regulatory officials, Union County Emergency Manager, and other local officials. Please contact your emergency manager if you have any other questions. Fordyce Superintendent Judy Hubble released a statement on the Fordyce School District Facebook page. This is a summary due to time constraints. She says our school district and community have been rocked by a video that recently emerged on social media. She says many feel anger towards Fordyce School District, saying our greatest responsibility is ensuring a safe learning environment for every one of our students, and we understand the importance of mending the district and community relationships that have been hurt. FSD investigates all student discipline issues, including conduct like that was shown in the video. She adds additionally, changes made to the Arkansas law in 2019 require school districts to make efforts to continue student engagement and access to education during periods of suspension or expulsion. The board accepted recommendations in compliance with Arkansas law, district policies, and the Fordyce High School handbook. If anyone would like more information, visit the Fordyce School District Facebook page and follow those links. I'm Doc Bryce. Go make some news today.
When it comes to COVID-19, there are several things you can do to protect yourself, your friends and loved ones, and your community. Wear a mask, wash your hands often, and continue to social distance when you are near other people. If you test positive or are exposed to COVID-19, you can get free, detailed information on what you need to do in order to prevent spreading COVID-19 to those around you. Just go to healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
When you pre-plan your final arrangements at Proctor Funeral Home, we can give you a close approximation of what the cost of your decisions would be and help you make financial arrangements to cover them should the need arise suddenly. Then, if you choose, you can make changes and adjustments to your plan so that the cost stays within the amount you wish to spend. At Proctor Funeral Home, the cost of your final arrangements is completely in your control. Proctor Funeral Home, serving Camden and the surrounding communities since 1868.
CareLink,
Central Arkansas's Area Agency on Aging strives to alleviate the stresses family caregivers experience when caring for older loved ones by providing services such as home care and Meals on Wheels in Central Arkansas. Learn more about helping a parent or grandparent at carelink.org or by calling 372-5300 or toll free at 800-482-6359. This message brought to you by CareLink, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Good Tuesday morning, boys and girls. Rain is likely this afternoon. We'll have increasing clouds and temperatures near 52. Tonight, 50-50 shot at more rain. It'll be mostly cloudy with an overnight low near 37. For Wednesday, partly sunny and 59. Wednesday night, partly cloudy and 36. Thursday, sunny and 69. Friday, more rain in the forecast. Temperature near 64. Out of the Radio Works Weather Center, I'm JJ.
The morning mayhem is for entertainment purposes only.
News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Actually played that movie there for Mikey over the weekend. He'd never seen Top Gun before. And tried to explain, he said, what's that movie about? Tried to explain it to him, and he's like, oh, good. And I was like, just watch it then. So we ended up watching it, had to explain it to him a little bit. 13 years old. He seemed to like it, though. I think, well, and it also got into the action pretty quick, too. It didn't delay or hang out or, like some stories, movies, you got to wait till you're like, 2 hours into the movie before the plot really thickens and it picks up. And then you're like, oh, finally, we're getting into some action. Nah, I think he actually liked that. And he seemed to have been into it anyways. Welcome here to the 1 o'clock hour. Welcome here to the 7 o'clock hour. I'm already thinking after lunch right now. And welcome here as we are working our way into the round table we got coming up here at 7:20. Talking about some local stuff that's been going on, and already addressed the deal, the letter issued from the superintendent from Fordyce. Daffodil Festival coming up this weekend, and the possibility of some cold, wintry weather following the Daffodil Festival. I don't, you know what, honestly, I don't think it would matter what weekend that you put the Daffodil Festival on. I think the weather would have just waited until somebody decided a date and said, this is the day that we are doing the Daffodil Festival. And the weather would say, all right, then we're going to change it up a little bit. And this is the day that we're going to make it snow. Not saying that it will, but we could see some sleet in there somewhere overnight into Saturday. Man. I think there was one Daffodil Festival I've done, I think, it was actually nice. The sun was shining, the weather was perfect, the temperature was just right and everything. But the only thing was we didn't have any daffodils. That was the only thing, because they hadn't bloomed yet. They hadn't shown up yet. So it's like we were having the Daffodil Festival before the daffodils decided to bloom. And then I've seen where the daffodils bloom too soon, and then by the time we do the Daffodil Festival, they're gone. So it's, I tell you what, you know what? We just need to have a cure-all here. We need to figure out a way to hold the weather off, force the daffodils to come out, and then have the Daffodil Festival. Sure. 65% of Americans have a product they consider a cure-all. Maybe we could do that with the daffodils. In a new poll, 65% of Americans say they have a product in their home that they consider a cure-all. And we aren't talking about that old bottle of scotch that your grandma has in the basement either. You got to blow the dust off there. Or that pyramid scheme stuff that your sister-in-law won't stop telling you about either. Have you heard about Amway? This is specifically for skin problems. And these aren't family secrets either. 73% of people said that they've been excited to share their go-to products, but unfortunately, the poll didn't include many specifics, though. The top cure-all items is antibiotic ointment. Petroleum jelly is second. And, like Vicks Vapor Rub or something like that. Followed by witch hazel, rubbing alcohol, and Vapor Rub. So you could have most of these cure-alls in your own home. Oh, peroxide didn't even make the list. Man, I use peroxide like Greeks use Windex, man. I mean, I even got it in a spray bottle, too. I mean, kid gets scratched up. Come here. Look at it. It's bubbling and everything. See, that's good. That's a good sign. It means it's fixing it. That said, just 20% of people say they have a standard first aid kit in their home, and 100% of people are glad to have it when they need it. So that's something you should have too, no matter how powerful that old scotch is either. I'm telling you, man, can't go wrong with a bottle of a peroxide. You gotta be careful though, man. You can't put it in a straight up bottle. It has to stay in the dark bottle, because when sunlight hits it, or light in general, I guess, I don't know, I think it's just sunlight, but it could be light. When light hits it for too long, the hydrogen part of the solution escapes, and then you just got water, basically. So you always want to make sure that you keep it in a dark container, even if you do put a spray head on there. So be careful with that hydrogen peroxide, because you don't want that hydrogen peroxide to turn into water, because all the hydrogen escaped. It feels like pre-pandemic events pretty much felt like a eternity ago. I can't tell the difference between 2020 and 2021. And 2022 is already being a blur, even though we're 3 months into it. I still can't figure out what happened, and stuff and things. And then somebody mentioned something. I'm like, was that 2020 or was that 2021? Anyhow, this stupid pandemic has dragged on for so long. Stuff that happened right before it seems like it occurred in another lifetime. 2019 feels like it was like 18 years ago. I swear, it really does. Or 19 years ago. So anyhow, here's some examples from a list that BuzzFeed put together of things that just feels like another lifetime ago that happened. Remember that thing with Jennifer Lopez and Shakira? They did there at the Super Bowl halftime show that everybody got so upset about because, they were just doing all that nasty dancing and everything, and they just ruined the halftime show. It's supposed to be a family show. Donald Trump was acquitted on both articles of impeachment. This was the second impeachment. Tiger King came out. Technically, this was right as the pandemic was taking off. It debuted on March 20th of 2020. Just right after March 11th. Because March 11th is when we here in Arkansas realized that, hey, we got the COVIDs. The Invisible Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Bad Boys for Life were in theaters. See? I'm sitting there thinking, wait, what? Yeah, it feels like forever. We kind of thought Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston were going to get back together. 7 Democrats were still fighting for the party's presidential nomination, and Pete Buttigieg had just won Iowa, which now he's Secretary of Traffic, Department of Transportation, and not doing a very good job of transporting stuff and things. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they were stepping back from their royal duties, or as the press labeled it, Megxit. I get it, because it's because we had Brexit and then we had Megxit. And Mr. Peanut died. Yeah, that was sad. Then came back as a baby, reincarnated. That was weird. Yeah, I can't even tell you which one that was. It was it Super Bowl 2020? 20? No, because hang on. Because we'd already done the Super Bowl, right? For 2020, right? Yeah. Because Because the Super Bowl's done in February. So we had talks of the COVIDs, but we didn't know what was going on with COVID. So I think we had a normal Super Bowl. See, that's what I mean. It all blends together. You can't remember what year was what year. So if I remember correctly, let's see. The Super Bowl 2020 should have been normal, I think. Because it was yeah, that was the one with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. So and which was February 2nd of 2020. So we didn't know anything or take the COVID seriously until after March, because like I said, March 11th was when it hit here in Arkansas, out of Pine Bluff. See, that's what I'm saying. Everything just blends together that it's like, I can't, you know what? I don't know when that was. So yeah, that was the Super Bowl of 2020, the halftime show where J-Lo and Shakira did all their shaking and stuff and everything, and then everybody was in shock and awe. So then it was Super Bowl 2021 that featured Weeknd that did his halftime show. And that was February 7th of 2021. See? And it starts... The only reason why I can remember Weeknd doing his show, and that's why I was kind of like, well, wait a minute. Was it Weeknd first and then Lopez, or was it Lopez first and then Weeknd? Because Weeknd did his halftime show. Normally, they always do it out in the middle of the field, right? Remember? The halftime show and stuff? And you got a huge crowd and everything. Well, The Weeknd ended up doing his halftime show up in the bleachers by himself. He didn't have anybody up there with him. He was just up there all by himself doing a show and everything. And so that was pretty much that is what that was. And so then, let's see, 2021. So this is okay, yeah. And then we go into so the halftime show. See what I mean? It just all blends together, and it does. It feels like 2019 was 19 years ago. So that means that 2022, that was the one where we had Eminem, Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and that halftime show that everybody complained about. That, boomers pretty much complained about that. I don't like that halftime show. Who is that Eminem? Who's that Snoop Doggy Dog? I don't like him very much. I don't understand. I can only imagine. Who's that Snoopy Dog? You laugh. I laugh. But it's true. You know somebody out there who couldn't say the name right and called him Snoopy Dog or something like that. And then didn't understand what an M&M was. Or 50 Cent. That doesn't look like 50 cents. It looks like 2 bits. Anyhow. So, it just all blends together. And then, and that's half the battle right there, is trying to remember. Now when people ask me about, and music, it used to link music up to, if somebody said, hey, this year, what year was it when these things happened in life, and this song was number 1. And typically based on the song, well, considering my occupation, whatever that song is, I could go, oh, that was that year, that year. Well, between 2020 and up to now, I don't even know what song was what and where it was and when we were playing it anymore. It's just like, when did that song come out? And then when I find out it's 2020, 2021, something like that, I'm just like, oh, yeah. I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. So how many of you out there end up mushing it all together and can't remember what year happened to what and did what of that year? Because I cannot remember much anymore of that year or what happened to that year. So, hey, but look at it this way. Of course, during those years, a lot of us got sent home with no money, not making any money because of the COVIDs and stuff. But hey, this guy made $75,000 in a year. Doing what? Just by suing telemarketers. Listen up. If you're looking for a side gig, you need a little side hustle, make some extra cash, especially with the way gas prices are today, I can't think of a more satisfying way to make money than this. And we're talking about pretty big money here. So a guy in Austin, Texas, named Dan Graham was sick of getting so many calls from telemarketers, so last year he started suing them. He works for a financial consultant, and he says ignoring random calls just isn't an option for him. He has to answer them, even though they're spam calls half the time. So he tried adding his number to the do not call list and filed complaints with the Better Business Bureau, and that didn't do any good either. So last April, he sued one of the companies that kept calling him and won. Or technically, they settled. They had to, because they showed that they were violating something called the Federal Telephone Consumer Protection Act. And so after that, he kept doing it. And in the last 11 months, he filed 50 more lawsuits and made $75,000 in settlements. So he says some of the companies didn't even know it was happening. A lot of them use outside contractors for marketing, and once they found out, they stopped it. He says around 10 of the companies he sued have now changed their marketing strategy and aren't calling random people anymore. So there you go. You want to make $75,000 the easy way? There you go. Start suing those telemarketers. And besides, think about it. They're using my resources to telemarket to me. Especially back in the old days when you used to pay for your minutes on your cell phone, too. It's like you're using up my minutes to sit there and throw me a pitch that I don't want to hear. And that's stealing my time and stealing my resources as well. That's what you're doing. All right, we got to take this break. Roundtable up next.
Want a degree that leads to a professional career where you can earn up to $100,000 a year? Get started in SAU Tech's specialized non-destructive testing program. Learn the skills that are needed in advanced manufacturing and start on a great career path. Call today for a tour of the program. Call 870-574-4500 or go to sautech.edu.
Woo-wee! Mark your calendars for April 8th and 9th. Then get ready for the greatest show in South Arkansas, the Calco Rodeo. H&H Rodeo Company is bringing the orneriest bucking broncs and bulls you've ever seen to Hampton. Calf roping, saddle bronc riding, steer wrestling, team roping, barrel racing, and bull riding. They're all on their way to Hampton, April 8th and 9th for this year's Calco Rodeo. Yeehaw! Well, right here, boys and girls, it's Tuesday, and woo! I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and see what we're going to feed you guys today. Starting things off in Hampton for breakfast, looks like it's a Crispito or a glazed honey bun. You'll get fruit and then milk or juice. Lunch in Hampton includes a ham and cheese sandwich with a pickle, chips, carrot sticks with ranch. Woo, you get a cookie and some juice. Out in Bearden, looks like breakfast is going to be bum. That's right, a super donut. You'll get a cheese stick, fruit, and juice. Lunch is a loaded tater soup with grilled cheese sandwich. Well, that sounds good. Fresh carrots and a ranch dip and fruit. Out in Harmony Grove, looking like breakfast gonna be an AM sausage roll, fresh fruit. You get a hamburger, baked beans, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, chilled peaches, fresh fruit, and if you don't want that, eat a potato. Camden Fairview pre-K breakfast gonna be a breakfast pizza, fruit assortment, and cold milk. K through 5 breakfast pizza, fruit assortment, orange juice, apple juice, and milk. And you middle and high schoolers, you know it. You got a choice. Your choice is Pop-Tarts, cereal, glazed cake donut, breakfast pizza, fruit assortment, orange juice, apple juice, and milk. Milk. There we go. I ran out of breath. All right. For K through 5 on the lunch menu, it's spaghetti with tomato sauce. You get the garlic toast, whole kernel of corn, pineapple tidbits, and cold milk. K through 5 spaghetti with tomato sauce, garlic Texas toast, whole kernel corn, garden salad, fruit assortment, pineapple tidbits, cold milk. And for you middle and high schoolers, it's meat lovers pizza or spaghetti with tomato sauce, garlic Texas toast, whole kernel corn, garden salad, fruit assortment, pineapple tidbits, and cold milk. Well, we're feeding you, and that's what you really need to know. With your menu, I'm JJ.
Things first, let's two-step, then we'll talk.
Today is a very special day.
International Women's Day takes place every year on the 8th of March.
We are strong adult women.
Women are responsible for 2/3 of the work done worldwide.
Women are tough.
Women are strong.
Women are mysterious.
I am woman. Hear me roar.
I'm very excited to welcome you to International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
Chin up. It's showtime.
Wake up! Happy International Women's Day, Doc.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Doc Bryce, everybody.
Oh my God, who cares?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well just fire up some Shania Twain.
Yeah. Hey.
I feel like a woman.
Well, you look like one. I mean,
no, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's that hair. You know, a little eyeshadow and then the right light. You know, and like we turn them off.
No, I'd be that 2 a.m. girl when the ugly lights come on, and you're like, oh my God, he's got facial hair, or she's got facial hair.
Yeah, well, that's Doc Bryce, the great, everybody.
Hey, Jose lied to me one night.
Oh yeah.
Jose kept telling me to go out there and dance.
You got to watch
that girl.
That Cuervo boy.
Jose said, you know what? Look at her. She's out there dancing by herself. You need to go out there and dance with her. And luckily, at the time, I was a very shy guy, and I was like, well, I went through that all night. Jose kept telling me, go out there and just dance with her. And then, sure enough, 2 a.m. hit, and the ugly lights come on.
Yeah.
And she spun around, and that hair was blonde and flowing and everything.
Yep.
And she had a full-on beard.
There you go.
That was a dude.
Woo!
Jose lied to me. Jose trying to make fun of me. Jose trying to get me in trouble.
Oh, some things that happen to stupid people keep happening to me.
Sorry, it has a mind of its own sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at least I didn't fall for Jose's lies.
Well, there's a fool born every minute, and fortunately enough, it wasn't our Doc Bryce this time. All right. Well, for everybody from JJ, happy International Women's Day. Doc, being the male chauvinist that he is, he doesn't like women.
You know what? When I do man stuff, I don't get no star. I don't get no pat on the back. Everybody says, well, that's your job. That's what you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to be doing it. Just shut up and do it.
Yeah. A woman does something. I was like, look what I did.
Yes, I mean, that's special.
And I got to, make dinner, take her out somewhere, get her a card, flowers?
Yes.
What'd you do? That's your job. That's what you're supposed to
do. No. Women do it by the grace of God.
Ugh. And I just do it because...
See, ladies, you got to remember who your friend is here, okay? I am not alienating half of my listeners, okay?
Well, I'm not alienating anybody. I'm just saying, look, I do what I'm supposed to do. And
ain't a woman in this county going to be listening to Doc Bryce middays anymore.
Yeah, they will.
Swap shop,
yeah, they will.
Thing of the past.
Oh, let's make that a thing of the past.
Yeah, no, you're going to be doing that till you die.
What did I do wrong? Why is that my punishment?
You accepted the job. That's what you did wrong.
I just wanted the program job.
I'm sorry. I made sure that was written into your rider, okay?
But as the program director who programs the radio station, I should be able to unprogram Swap Shop.
You'd think.
Man,
talk to your sponsors. Hey, good morning, Mrs. Roark, by the way.
Good morning.
How are you from the OCMC Chemical Dependency Unit? How are you this morning?
I am great. Glad to be here.
Been a minute since you've been in.
It has. It's been a while. Glad to be back.
Absolutely.
After this show, I'm going to be one of her clients.
Probably needed to be one of our clients for years.
We'll hook you up, Doc.
Yeah, I told you a long time ago there was an 800 number for people like you. 1-800-232. Yeah, I'm teasing. 1289. All right. It is the Roundtable, boys and girls, brought to you each and every weekday morning by our buddies out at Ouachita County Medical Center's Chemical Dependency Unit. They'd like to remind you that you're not alone. Addiction is a tough thing to get past. Make the choice to be a better you. All calls are confidential. Dial 870-836-1289, 1-800-232-1289. Man, get the help you need. All right? Enough said. Flaming Pig Barbecue. They've got all sorts of events coming up. And the food truck's clean, so they're ready to rock and roll once again. They will be in Sparkman and want to invite all of Sparkman and the surrounding area Sunday, March 13th at the Dollar General, selling barbecue plates to help Sparkman High School raise money for their junior-senior prom. And we've got another fundraiser on Friday, March 11th. That's this Friday. Let's see. That one's going to be in Fordyce. And then we've got another fundraiser March 18th for Harmony Grove Prom. So all sorts of, the best way to keep up with that Flaming Pig, and the only way that I can, is go to their Facebook page, and all of that information is right there waiting for you. Flaming Pig Barbecue, catering available, 818-5984 SAU Tech. They've got multiple job openings for you to have a career in higher education. You can now apply online at sautech.edu. Just go to careers, click on the job title you're interested in. After you get done viewing it, click the apply tab. SAU Tech, go Rockets! St. John's Place, 1400 Highway 79, Wichita 7 Bypass in Fordyce, and Ouachita Nursing and Rehab, 1411 Country Club Road in Camden. They're the choice for all your rehabilitation long-term care needs. They provide award-winning short-term therapy services too. Reach St. John's Place by dialing 870-352-2104 and Ouachita Nursing and Rehab, 836-4111. First Choice Family Care, 476 Hospital Drive in Camden, dial 870-800-9002. Choosing the right doctor for you and your family can be stressful at best. Dr. Smith and her staff will help take the pain away from that process. Go to myfirstchoicecare.com for a new patient packet, then call 870-800-9006. We're brought to you by Mitch Lowe's Body Shop for auto body and collision repair, framework, glasswork, and refinishing. All accidents, large or small, Mitch Lowe's can handle them all. located at 2025 California. If you put it in the ditch, you better call Maria at Mitchell's Body Shop, 837-2560. We're brought to you by Everybody's Antiques down in El Dorado. You're going to find an exceptionally wide variety of antiques, gifts, and collectibles, knickknacks, sports memorabilia, new tires, trailers, storage buildings. They buy, they sell. They've got 120 booths, 31,000 square feet to explore. Shop them online, everybody'santiques.com, or call 870-875-1444, or do it the old-fashioned way and just pop in. Corner of Bradley and West Hillsboro in El Dorado. We're brought to you by Camden Rural Health Services. Camden is a private, nonprofit corporation who's there to meet the primary medical and dental care needs of the residents in 8 counties of rural South and southwestern Arkansas. They've got a wonderful facility over in Hampton, got another one in Bearden, one down in Hope. All sorts of ways for Cabin to help you. You can learn more on their website, cabun.org, or just give them a call, 870-798-4299. And finally, but still, brought to you by Steel Deals. There we go. Steel Deals Incorporated, been serving Ouachita County and the surrounding area for more than 15 years. Matter of fact, it's been closer to 30. From large industrial projects to smaller DIY crafting needs, Steel Deals has your material needs covered. They're located right down the street here, 1615 Mount Holly Road. Call them up, 870-231-5622. If you got a project, the custom fabrication pros at Steel Deals can help. I mean, if you're doing a custom barbecue grill, a fire pit, deer stand, whatever, give these guys a call, man. They want you to use them. All right? I mean, just pick their brain. 1615 Mount Holly Road. They're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, 870-231-5622. And finally, by Stories Floor and Carpet, quality you can count on since 1958. Located at 2004 Lorraine in El Dorado, dial 870-862-9446. We got to take a break. Have to take a break, but you guys hang out. We'll be back.
It's time to check the Radio Works South Arkansas Community Bulletin Board.
Jews for Jesus presents Christ in the Passover at the Elliott Baptist Church on Sunday, April 3rd at 6 p.m. The Elliott Baptist Church is located at 4189 Highway 376 South in Camden. Call 231-6411 or 501-326-9987 for more information.
Local sports update.
Hello, sports fans, with a look at local games and scores. I'm Kelly Blair. Camden Fairview's non-conference game against Smackover was canceled on Monday. It is not known if the game will be made up at a later time. However, both the Camden Fairview baseball and softball teams will travel to Warren to start 7-4A conference play today. Both teams are slated to start their respective games at 5 p.m. Both teams have also moved up their conference games with Watson Chapel from Friday to Thursday this week to try to avoid bad weather. That means the Lady Cardinal softball game against Taylor, which was slated for Thursday, has been canceled. Lady Cardinal coach Kendra Center said the game could possibly be made up at a later date if the teams can find a good spot in their schedule. The Harmony Grove baseball team is slated to be back in action today with a non-conference home game against Bismarck. Game time is set for 4:30. The Lady Hornets softball team is also slated for action as they will host the Southwest School from Little Rock. Game time is set for 4:30. In other news, Arkansas baseball coach Dave Van Horn said he believes his number 7 ranked Razorback baseball team will be able to bounce back from what has been deemed a slow start to the season. The coach tried to find a little humor after Arkansas improved from a .213 batting average after 6 games to a .313 average over the last 4 games. Van Horn lamented the slow start from a run production standpoint because he has particularly been pleased with the pitching, especially since he has been pleased with the pitching. The coach said coming into the season he thought hitting would be a strength of the club, but he did state he thought the wind blowing in at Houston knocked down 7 potential home runs for the team. He added, however, the team has to find other ways to win. Van Horn said because Friday's forecast is currently calling for snow, the Razorbacks may look into a Thursday doubleheader to open a series against Illinois Chicago. That'll wrap it up for now with your sports update. I'm Kelly Blair. I'm the best there is at what I do, and what I do is sports.
Good morning, South Arkansas. It's time for the Ouachita River Report for Tuesday, March 8th. Starting out with the river in Camden, the current gauge reading is 9.54 feet. At Thatcher Lock and Dam this morning, the current gauge reading is 77.65 feet. And at Morro Bay State Park, the gauge reading is 67 feet. Construction began on Rimmel Dam in May of 1923 and was completed in December of 1924. Now, the planning had begun years earlier when former riverboat captain Flavie Carpenter from Arkadelphia met with AP&L founder Harvey Couch in 1916 to push for the dam, which would provide hydroelectric power. Carpenter, a Georgia native, had moved with his family to Arkansas in 1857 at age 6. His father owned a steamboat that ran from Arkadelphia to New Orleans, and Carpenter learned how to pilot the boat. After the railroad arrived in Arkadelphia in the 1870s, though, river transportation declined in importance, and Carpenter went to work as a deputy U.S. Marshal. He rode many miles on horseback through the Ouachita Mountains around Arkadelphia, Malvern, and Hot Springs, searching for illegal stills and arresting moonshiners. Now, while doing this work, he encountered several locations along the Ouachita River that he believed would make excellent sites for power-producing dams. Carpenter showed Couch several possible sites for a dam, and Couch commissioned engineering firms to begin drawing plans. Couch had lined up investors from New York, but needed a federal license from John Weeks, the U.S. Secretary of War. In his hotel lobby at Washington, Couch ran into Colonel Harmon Rimmel, a friend of Weeks. Now, Rimmel was a New York native that had moved with his brother to Newport in 1876 to form Rimmel Brothers Lumber Company. He moved to Little Rock in 1886 to serve as the Arkansas General Manager of Mutual Life Insurance Company of New York, and in 1930 succeeded Powell Clayton as leader of the Arkansas Republican Party. Rimmel set up a meeting between Weeks and Couch. Weeks, in turn, scheduled a licensing hearing for the following week, and Couch was granted his license for the first major dam on the Ouachita River. Couch named it Rimmel Dam as a way of thanking the man who set up the Washington meeting. He named the 1,940-acre lake created by the dam Lake Catherine in honor of his daughter. The dam was added to the National Register of Historic Places in September 1992. Radio Works urges you to learn more and explore your river. Reliability of this forecast is based on current and forecasted river weather conditions from the National Weather Service in Little Rock. Have a great week, y'all. All right, we are back. Sorry, that was an extended river report this morning.
It's good, though.
Well, there was no way to shorten that one, so.
Yeah, but, I mean, you get really lost in the history, though, and you don't even think about it.
And, yeah, well, that was kind of where that one went, so. 60 seconds turned into 300, so. It'll be all right. We'll survive it.
We'll get over it.
All right. Good morning and welcome back to the studios. Mrs. Roark from OCMC's Chemical Dependency Unit. So, how you been? You hadn't been here since, like, December.
Yeah, it's been a little while. It's just good to be back.
We were discussing that before we went on the air. You know, it had been so long since you'd been down here. We had forgotten that addiction was a problem. All right, maybe not. But, you know, I mean, there are several different sections of addiction, or levels of addiction, I guess would be the best way to say it. Now, you guys can help with all different aspects of addiction,
correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, is there anything that you guys don't help with as far as because I mean, you know, do y'all gotta do eating disorders or anything like that?
No, JJ, we do not do eating disorders. It's specifically substance abuse.
Substance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a totally different type of treatment in dealing with eating disorders.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, that's me. I'm just stupid that way because, you know, I figure, hey, I'm addicted to chocolate cake just as much as I am anything else.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I was going to call the 800 number and say, hey, look, you know, I'm tired of adding sugar to my cake, okay? No, but seriously, addiction is a major issue, and the pandemic has actually spurred this thing on just addiction has increased at an alarming rate. Primarily what we're seeing is
alcohol, of course, is the number one substance that we treat, but we're seeing a lot of opioid addiction. But it's some of the drugs that they're getting on, opioids they're getting on the street, is pressed with fentanyl. And fentanyl is a very, very dangerous drug. It's 100 times more powerful than morphine. And of course, morphine's used, post-surgical medications primarily, but it's very, very dangerous, and people are overdosing and dying from this thing, and it's a very, very serious epidemic in our country.
Well, now, to put things into perspective, what is fentanyl used for?
There's a couple of different types of fentanyl, and one is a prescribed medication that is used primarily for terminally ill patients, or patients who are just have very, very severe pain. It's usually used as a patch, and it's of course transmitted through the skin into the bloodstream, and that is a good medication, but it's a very dangerous medication. The other type of fentanyl that we're seeing, which is just unbelievable, is called carfentanil, and that is elephant tranquilizer. And so, just casual.
So you can just run down to the feed store and grab this, right? I mean, we've got a big problem with elephants, right, Doc?
Yeah, I mean, they're always in the room.
There's definitely an elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Elephant tranquilizer. Where are they getting their hands on this?
It's coming from outside of the country. It is coming from Mexico. It is coming from China, different areas of like that into our country, and just casual touch of that particular type of fentanyl can kill a person. It's they go into respiratory distress, and they go to sleep and they don't wake up.
That's just it boggles the mind sometimes how these things find their ways onto the street and become an issue. I mean, it boggles my mind. I don't understand, and I'm not, I'm not the last Boy Scout or anything like that. I am not your Vestal guy that never got into trouble or anything like that. I've been around the block, all right, and I just don't understand how some of this stuff actually makes it to the street. Now, and I am always, saying that, if the criminals want it, they'll find a way.
Yeah.
And I am assuming that this is exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Because, no, I mean, you can't just run down and get elephant tranquilizers at the local feed store. I'm reasonably. I will ask. I'll be over at the feed store here in a little bit, and I will ask about elephant tranquilizers, and get back to all of you on that.
The other thing that has made a pretty significant comeback is heroin.
See, and I thought that was a thing of the past too.
Yeah, that's coming out.
That was 60s and 70s, 80s into the 90s. Yeah, I guess, but I figured we had gotten a little bit smarter than that by this point.
No, I'm afraid not. People are still using it, and there again, that too is very, very dangerous, and they can die from respiratory distress. They just go to sleep, and the brain controls everything. Movement. We have voluntary responses. We can walk at will. We can move our hands and arms and at will. And then we have involuntary responses. We don't have to tell our heart to beat, our lungs to take in oxygen. That's an automatic response. And what happens is when they overdose, the signal from the brain can't get to the heart to beat or the lungs to take in oxygen. And as I said, they simply go to sleep and they do not wake up.
Now, as appealing of a way to go as that sounds, you're not guaranteed to go to sleep and not wake up. There are the other side of that coin where you wake up and you're never the same, too,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that can happen to you from?
Well,
death being the worst, of course, but living with certain issues can be, much worse than death sometimes.
It can cause damage to the brain. It can cause seizures. It can cause cardiac arrhythmia. There's just so many things that that most all substances can create some very serious problems for the body. And as I said, it is so dangerous, and there are so many people using it. We're seeing younger people, older people, and part of the attitude is it'll never happen to me. And graveyards are full of people who have said that. Prisons are full of people who have said that. And it's just addiction is a very, very tough thing to overcome, but it can be overcome. And what it takes is a person reaching out, and that's a very scary thing, and kind of feeling out of control. And we identify fear as false events appearing real, and so they kind of have a false event in their head what it's going to be like. It's not a drunk tank. We don't throw people in a room, in a padded room or anything like that. We believe in treating people with dignity and respect, and provide the care that they need in a safe and confidential environment. And but the first thing that happens when they come to our treatment program is they're going to meet with a counselor. That counselor's going to do an assessment. What we're looking at is what they're using, how much they're using, any physical complications that it's caused, what their withdrawal symptoms are, and withdrawal can be extremely painful. And then we also, our registered nurse assesses them. They then are admitted into our treatment program, and we're going to do medical detox. And how that works is they're going to meet with the physician. Our medical director is Dr. Amy DeLuca. They'll meet with her, and she will determine medications, what's the best approach for for a person's particular detox. And we start them out on medications, and then we slowly bring them off of it. The reason we do that is we want to prevent seizures. We want to prevent the blood pressure from going too high, which can cause strokes. It can also cause heart attacks, things of that nature. And so we will slowly bring them off of whatever drug that they're on using the appropriate medication. And, I've had people, JJ, who've been in other treatment programs, and as the director have asked to talk with me, and I go in the room to visit with them, and they cry because they have never been treated as well as we treat them at our treatment program. And once the medical detoxification phase is completed, then they go into what we call the recovery phase of our program, and that's where they are involved in individual therapy, group therapy. We do psychological testing and evaluation. We have someone who has clinical depression, and we just treat their drug addiction or alcoholism. The chances of them staying clean is pretty slim because they're self-medicating that. And so we treat both at the same time, and their chances of recovery go way up. And then we will transition them, once they complete the recovery phase of treatment, we transition them to what we call aftercare. And aftercare meets once a week, and it's a continuation of group therapy. That's a free service for a lifetime. And so those tools have been very, very effective in treatment. And to my knowledge, we are the only treatment program in the state of Arkansas that even offers aftercare, and our aftercare is free. We're not a fly-by-night treatment program. In other words, we don't open up and close, open up and close, open up and close, like some programs have done. And we have been in business this year 37 years.
So you guys, now y'all also help people from all walks of life.
Oh my goodness, yes. I have treated physicians, I've treated psychiatrists, other healthcare professionals. I've treated NFL football players in our program, attorneys, people from all walks of life. Addiction doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. The facts is that addiction can happen to anyone, and So we are, again, confidential, and a lot of times people are concerned about that. They don't want people to know that they're in a treatment program. And so we actually are bound by 2 federal confidentiality laws. One that most people are familiar with is HIPAA, that came into existence in the 1990s. But the Chemical Dependency Unit was already bound by a federal confidentiality law. So we very much protect the privacy and the confidentiality of the patients who come into our treatment program. I think one of the things that's really people are drawn to us, other than the quality of our care and reputation, it's the fact that we're not in a big city. You know, we're 2 hours south of Little Rock, and they feel more comfortable coming to a rural hospital versus going to some of the larger hospitals, and for fear of their confidentiality being possibly compromised.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, there's a whole lot of different levels of addiction. Okay, we had discussed this. Is there a way for you to simply define addiction for me?
Well, probably one of the easiest ways to do that, JJ, is we compare it to diabetes. Diabetes can't be cured, but it can be controlled. And, a person has to be educated on it, and they have to make lifestyle changes. And it's the same way with addiction. At this point in time, it can't be cured, and, maybe one day we will have a cure for it. But it can be controlled, and that's through education, therapy, and making the lifestyle changes that they need to make. And my goodness, we have people who have done very well. I have one in particular. We have a lot of people. That's where they get their new lease on life, and they go on to have happy and productive lives. I have one a member of our alumni, which is a graduate of our program, who finishes up his internship. He will be a physician, and it all started in CDU. And he is a very good young man, and has come a long way in his recovery. The advantage he's going to have is that he will recognize addiction a lot faster than someone who maybe
hasn't ever been there.
Right, exactly. But we've had patients who have become therapists, who have become nurses, other healthcare professions, and just gone on with their life and have done very well with it.
Now, for some people, I mean, you can go out and you can drink as much as you want, and you can do that, daily, and never think that you have a problem.
Well, they can think that they do not have a problem, but one of the things that they need to consider is if they'll think about when they first started drinking and how much it took for them to get a buzz, and then they fast forward to the last time they did any buzz drinking. I'll tell them, you don't have to tell me, I'll tell you, it takes more now for a buzz than it did when you first started drinking. And the reason that happens is the tolerance level is increasing. And then, they will begin to experience pressure, concerns from family members. Hey, we think you're drinking too much. It can affect relationships with family. It can affect relationships in careers. It can affect every facet of a person's life, up to and including developing legal problems such as DWIs, DUIs, and other very serious legal issues. So, if you're not sure, if any of the listeners are not sure if they have an alcohol problem or drug problem, all they have to do is call us, 836-1289 or 1-800-232-1289, and we will do an assessment. Our assessments are free. And again, they are confidential, and we can let them know exactly where they're at in terms of their addiction. Because there's really, JJ, early stage, mid stage, and late stage. And the sad thing is that there's not that too terribly much difference between the mid and late stage. But with late stage, what you're going to be looking at there is people develop liver problems, for example, liver failure. I've treated patients who have been in end-stage liver failure in our treatment program, but there's just not that much difference between the abusive drinker or user and the addictive drinker or user. And it's kind of, once that line's crossed, there's no going back, meaning they'll never be able to return to social drinking or social using.
Okay, now what about those people that are in denial?
Again, the assessment will help them determine exactly where they're at. But we do deal with a lot of people who are in denial, and I can tell them if they're questioning themselves as to whether they have a problem or not, they probably already do. The sooner they get help, with the greater impact that has on them remaining alcohol and drug free.
Well, what if, I mean, and I know I'm giving a very plausible what if here, but let's say, the husband or the wife realizes there's a problem with their significant other.
Yeah.
And the significant other says, there ain't no problem.
Yeah.
How do we deal with something like that?
Well, that would be an intervention, and I will step people through the best approach for that. And one is that it's very difficult, but people need to stay away from using the word, you got a problem, you need to do this or you need to do that. The best approach is saying, I have a concern I need to talk to you about, and to describe maybe a few of the events that have occurred that's created that concern. And most of the time people will listen to that. If you go in and try to kind of be commanding, you need to go to treatment, that doesn't work very well at all. And a lot of it is going back to what we had said a little bit earlier. It's fear. And there are 3 root fears, and any other fear we can think of shoots off of one of those root fears. And it's fear of the unknown, fear of failure, and fear of rejection. And usually a person who's in denial is feeling all 3 of those root fears. So it's really the approach. And, I am also a counselor as well as a director of the program. I never tell someone you're an alcoholic or you're a drug addict. And the reason I don't do that, it would be like trying to convince them, right now I have on a tan sweater. It would be like trying to convince you that it's green. We would just be butting heads.
Right.
So what I do is I give them the information and let them make that decision as to whether they feel like they're alcoholic or drug addict. And that works. That's very effective. And so, kind of butting heads with your loved one or someone you're concerned about just doesn't work. And if anyone has a loved one they're concerned about, give us a call. I will be more than happy to step you through every stage of the intervention. And most of the time, that's quite effective handling it that way. And again, our assessments are free. It's not going to cost them anything. It's confidential, and we can let them know exactly where they're at and what to do about it.
All right, Mrs. Roark, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Now, if you guys are dealing with someone or you're suffering from addiction yourself, there are a couple of phone numbers that you guys can call.
Yes, it's 870-836-1289 or 1-800-232-1289. JJ, we also have a Facebook. It is Camden CDU, and they can check us out on Facebook if they would like. We are in the process of other things. We got a lot of really neat things going on at the unit. And we're in the process of doing some renovations, and so we're real excited about that. And it's a good program. All they got to do is call, and we'll be happy to help them. And if they don't feel comfortable giving us their name, they don't have to. They can make up a fictitious name if they want to, just to try to get a little bit of information. And
you're telling me you've talked to John Doe a couple of times?
Oh, many. Sure have.
Boys and girls, the important thing is that you get the help that you need. All right? I mean, wherever you get it from, get the help you need. And all calls are confidential, and all calls are free, right?
That's it, yeah.
I mean, that screening is free. You can go ahead and get screened anytime.
Yeah.
If you just need advice on how to help a loved one, you can give them a call at one of these numbers as well.
Yeah.
It's 870-836-1289 or 1-800-232-1289.
That's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Rohart.
Thank you.
It's the Roundtable. Doc Bryce, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Really? Because I have concerns.
No, I'm fine. It's not really a problem.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's normal.
I'm concerned.
No, it's normal. It's an everyday thing.
You worry me sometimes.
No, it's normal. Keep worrying.
Okay. As long as I can keep worrying.
Uh-huh.
The Roundtable, boys and girls, brought to you by everybody out at Stories Floor and Carpet. 2004 Lorraine in El Dorado. Dial 870-862-9446. Quality you can count on since 1958. Stories Floor and Carpet. Remember, dependable service before and after the sale is just one more reason to shop at Stories. We're brought to you by Steel Deals. Steel Deals Incorporated has been serving Ouachita County and the surrounding area for more than 30 years. If you've got a project, the custom fabrication pros at Steel Deals can help. Stop by the office today and see why the real pros go straight to the source. Steel Deals Incorporated, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, 1615 Mount Holly Road in Camden. Dial 870-231-5622. The Flaming Pig Barbecue. They've got a bunch of fundraisers coming up. And if you want to get in on all of that wonderful Flaming Pig stuff, well, go to their Facebook page, man. That is quite simply the best way to keep up with them and figure out where they're going to be next. They have got a bunch of different fundraisers coming up, like I said. Facebook page has information on each and every one of them. If you're interested in catering, 818-5984, the number to dial. SAU Tech, they've got multiple job openings for you to have a career in higher education. You can now apply online at sautech.edu. SAU Tech, go Rockets. St. John's Place, 1400 Highway 79, 127 bypass in Fordyce, and Ouachita Nursing and Rehab, 1411 Country Club Road in Camden. They provide award-winning short-term therapy services on top of their rehabilitation and long-term care needs. Reach them online, stjohnsplaceofarkansas.com and WouachitaNursing.com. First Choice Family Care, 476 Hospital Drive. That's Dr. Jara. Her and her staff will help take the pain away from the process of choosing a doctor. Give her a call, 870-800-9006. She's going to tell you to go ahead and go to myfirstchoicecare.com, though, and get a new patient packet, fill it out, and bring it in. Once you do that, they can get you all set up. We're brought to you by Mitch Lowe's Body Shop for auto body and collision repair, framework, glasswork, and refinishing. All accidents, large or small, Mitch Lowe's handles them all. Located at 2025 California, if you put it in the ditch, you better call Mitch. Mitch. Mitch Lowe's Body Shop. 837-2560. You call Maria. I don't mind.
You got me.
All right. Everybody's Antiques in El Dorado. You're going to find a bunch of antiques, gifts, and collectibles down there. Shop them online at everybody'santiques.com. Give them a call, 870-875-1444. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Saturday, 9 to 5. 120 booths, 31,000 square feet. Corner of Bradley and West Hillsboro in El Dorado. It's everybody's Antiques. Cabin Rural Health Services. They are that private nonprofit corporation that's developed to provide affordable care to meet the primary medical and dental care needs of residents in 8 counties of rural South and Southwestern Arkansas. For more information, visit their website, cabun.org, or call 870-798-4299. And, OCMC's Chemical Dependency Unit. That's who else we're brought to you by.
Yeah.
Mrs. Roark, thanks so much. Tell everybody a little bit about the CDU and how they can get a hold of you.
1-800-232-1289 or 870-836-1289. Call us. We'll help you. If you're scared, call us. You don't have to give us your name, and we'll kind of answer any questions that you may have and help you point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. Addiction is a tough thing to get through on your own. You're not alone. You don't have to go through it alone. you can get through this, man.
That's right.
You can be a better you.
Miracles do happen.
Amen to that. All right, guys and gals, we have got to get through this top of the hour stuff. Doc Bryce, you got a little bit of news you can use over there?
I got some local news as well as some Glenn Beck's news and stuff.
Sure.
It didn't rhyme, but that didn't work like that did in my head.
Probably be able to get you through that, too. All right, you guys hang out. We'll be back.
News Talk 92, KBEU Bearden.
I'm sorry, can you clarify that last sentence for me?
That means the news and talk of South Arkansas on News Talk 92, KBEU. From the Radio Works newsroom, I'm Doc Bryce. The Strong Waterworks in Union County is still under a boil order for the area of 8th Street West down Rural Road until further notice. A burn ban went into effect just after 4 p.m. on Friday, March 4th for Ouachita County until further notice. This year, the Camden Daffodil Festival will be scaled back but not canceled. Although the Daffodil Festival Board and volunteers are excited to make this announcement, they're still urging you to voluntarily practice COVID